Hi, I'm Bill Palmer. You've been hired to do this position of customer care representative or customer service representative, which have the initials CSR or CCR. The really important part of this is to understand first what's the pilot's job and what's the co-pilot's job. If you have an office manager, that is your co-pilot. The pilot of the plane is typically the owner or general manager. You're here today to learn what's important to you in your position in the company. If you have not seen the video of the customer's expectations, please stop now and go see it. The customers have high expectations based on the promises you promise to them. So it's very, very important you see that first so this makes sense. Here we go. The pilot's job is to make the phone ring so that you can answer it. When you answer it, there's an expectation that you're going to make someone happy today. Isn't that great? The whole point is, if they don't leave happy, then you've set the technician up for failure. They need to have confidence in you that you are going to take care of them and show up on time, and they hold you responsible. Here's where I'm going with this. We spend money, the pilot spends money in marketing, and when we spend money to make the phone ring, we have an expectation that there's more jobs. Your job fits right in the middle of those two. If you don't do a good job here, then we don't have the jobs over here. What this means to you is you're in control of the marketing spend for the owners and for the managers. If you don't answer the phone very well and we don't book the calls, we can't afford the marketing. In retrospect, your position is key. Fact is, arguably, probably the most important piece of this company is your answering the phone. Without you doing a good job, the technician can't feed his family. The owner can't feed their family. That's what this is about. The better you are at your job, the more money that you can make with the company and the more value you bring. It's very, very important to understand your job. You control the marketing spend. Here's why it's so important. If we spend $100,000 in marketing, we have an expectation of a big yield later on with the technicians developing revenue. If we aren't answering the phone correctly, and it could be technical, you have to keep your eyes open for this. I'll give you an example. If an answering machine is answering the phone at night, what do? Do you leave a message and hope they call back? Or do you go find someone else to do it? I'm impatient too. You're probably impatient as well. You need something fixed when it's broken. When we spend money in marketing as owners and managers, we expect you to book the call. If you aren't measuring yourself and making sure that you're on task, then you can't ask for training to bring you up. Here's what I mean by that. The inbound repair call should be 90% converted. A repair call means it's broken, there's a problem, and you can solve it. 90% of the time, they're going to say yes, send out a tech, because the pain has already been stimulated in the conversation. They have a need, you have a solution. Book the call 90% of the time. On a maintenance call, it may not be broken right now, just come out and make sure. It could be, well, we had a roof leak last year, can you send someone out just to confirm that it's fixed? That's a maintenance. Another maintenance style call is, I'm leaving for the summer, can someone come out and take a look at my plumbing? And that's a maintenance call. Okay, it's not broken, but we have an expectation that 85% of the time you're going to book the call. Inbound replacement calls. We market as owners and managers for the phone to ring for replacement of some sort. It might be water heaters, it might be roofs, it might be air conditioning systems, it might be carpet, it might be painting the house, whatever your industry is. The point is, 70% of the time you should be converting that to a sales call. Now, if you're not prepared for that call, you're going to see down around 40 and 50%. When you start measuring yourself, it looks like this. If they called and asked for it, put a strike. And each and every day you put a strike under repair, under maintenance, and under replacement, and measure yourself and ask for training in that particular area that you're not doing a good job in. You have to be honest with this. You have to dig deep down and make sure that this is for you. And if you respond well to training, you're really going to show your value to the company because there's more money being generated. Reduce nuisance calls. One of the biggest problems we have is those stinking solicitors calling us and taking up our time. If there's a way to block those calls, mark down the phone numbers and please get it to that manager so that we slow down those nuisance calls and make sure that there's good quality people calling in, and you will get better and better and better because now the redundancy of doing the same thing over and over again will drive you to be a better CSR or CCR. That's what you want, isn't it? Client concerns. If a client concern comes in, it's not a repair, it's not a maintenance, not a replacement, it's not a solicitor. It's a problem with our company. We need to elevate that client concern all the way to the top and bypass everything and get it resolved as fast as possible. Here's what we know. 1 in 9 people actually say nice things about our company. 3 of 9 people say bad things, sometimes more. If you go to a bad restaurant, how many people do you tell it's a bad restaurant? If you go to a good restaurant, how many people do you tell you went to a good restaurant? So the real thing that you're here to do is to prevent client concerns from getting elevated out to the internet, out to the public in any kind of way. And it is so important to you to make sure to elevate those that if we get a bad review anywhere in your company, it probably could have been resolved starting with you. Sounds a little harsh. I told you before, this is the key piece to this whole thing working, is to get you actively involved in measuring all these things, elevating client concerns. We have a point system you're going to be held accountable to. Maybe not at first, unless you want it. I strongly advise it. This company that you're with records their calls. There's a grading system and a training system to support it. So when you're graded, if you're hitting hundreds all the time, you're doing a great job. If you're not hitting hundreds, by the way, this is not based on your conversion rates at all. This is how you're addressing the customer. And there's 10 points of interest that we're interested in that you're driving value. We're here to help you. We have training systems, we have trainers ready to assist you through the process. One of the key indicators that we look at through the whole company is conversion rate for preventative maintenance. Preventative maintenance conversion rate on agreements means to you that every point through the process of the experience of the call is a Disney World experience so good that they want to stay locked into this company. So please, please, please make it your best interest, the company's best interest, the technician's best interest, to make sure that we're hitting 50% or higher on all of the agreements. The reason why I pick 50% is sometimes we can have bad months. Most of the time it should be 66%. It could be a new employee driving it down to 50%. If we're over 50% from your perspective, that is a good thing. Welcome to the company.